San Juan Regional Medical Center is your community hospital, committed to making life better for the communities we are privileged to serve. In fact, better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. What matters most to our patients matters most to us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services so you can get the quality care you need right here at home. San Juan Regional Medical Center, celebrating life better here since 1910. KSJE is supported by the Farmington Civic Center, bringing a full slate of entertainment to Farmington and San Juan County. From America's Got Talent, The Silhouettes, Saturday, May 28th at 7:30 p.m. The Farmington Civic Center, 200 West Arrington in downtown Farmington. Find out more online at fmtn.org/shows or 505-599-1148.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Cullip, along here with Scott Michlin.
Good morning, Megan Cullip.
Hello.
That's interesting. Here we are.
I know.
Right? The music just sets the stage, doesn't it?
The music.
It always wakes you up, makes you like start bouncing in your chair. At least me.
It does,
right?
and it doesn't slap us for copyright.
It doesn't. I know,
So,
right?
two
It's
good
true.
things.
Thank you very much, whoever composed that piece of music and put it on YouTube so we could use it. So,
Yes.
But there you are. But we're back for That's Interesting. This is the show that we do that really works if you call in, basically. It doesn't work without you, audience. So we would like you to call in this morning, 505-566-3909. That's 566-390.9. Get it? And you can call in and share what's interesting with Megan and myself. And it could be anything. We've heard jokes, we've heard stories, we've heard news items, just whatever, upcoming events that you're involved with that you think we should share with the audience, the greater audience. Any of that is on the table this morning.
On the table.
Yes. This table.
This table.
Yes.
Here.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's right. And I'm going to actually put up the number right there.
The crawl.
There you go.
I love a good crawl.
Yes. There it is. So it's on the screen right now for our visual radio audience. You can certainly read the number off the screen and give us a call. But anyway, that's what's going on this week. And we want to thank everyone for coming out last week, Saturday.
Sweating it up for KSJE.
The 0 Mile Fun Run.
That's right.
Successful event after being gone for 2 years. We couldn't do it safely, so we didn't do it, but we did it this year.
Yeah,
And
I thought it was fun.
It was fun. I think everyone enjoyed it. We had people that ran the race like twice, show-offs.
Show-offs.
See how they are? Right?
Well, my favorite was the donut stop.
yes,
in the middle.
And the water station.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Because you can't run 0 miles without a donut stop and water station.
Right.
Midway.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
So
where
we
we
had-
got a,
we had- we
got
had
a
it
little
covered.
log jam there at the donut station.
Had it covered. That's right. But worked out well. There's some pictures on social media, so we encourage everyone to check it out. We thank everyone who showed up, and of course, we thank everyone who registered. If you would still like to support KSJE and didn't get a chance to come to the 0 Mile Fun Run last Saturday, you can still go online and support KSJE at ksje.com/support. It's easy to do.
It's easy to do. You can do it year-round.
You could do it monthly.
Which
would
would be
like a little amount
ideal.
every month, and then
That's right.
And
you still get like a hat and stuff, right? That's still a
yeah,
thing.
at certain levels, we send you a little thank you gift,
Yeah.
because we appreciate that support. So
We do.
there you go. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Let's we'll go to the phone as soon as somebody calls in.
Right.
No one's called in
And
yet.
until then,
Yeah, what do you got?
okay, so I'm reading a book.
Are you now?
Yeah.
Just one?
Well, no, because I always have multiple ones.
I would think someone like
Yeah.
you would have multiple books on
Going
your
at a time.
nightstand. Yes.
Yeah, and you do like 5 pages here, 5 pages there, whatever.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
it's
okay.
a habit of mine.
Sure.
This particular book that I'm thinking of is patterned sort of on the hero's journey. Are you familiar with the hero's journey?
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's true. That's
See?
part of the point.
Thank you.
That's part of the point. So Joseph Campbell is this philosopher, psychologist guy, came up with the hero's journey, which was based on archetypes, and archetypes are like universal symbols. So
Okay.
the hero itself is an archetype, and kind of the stages that one goes through on the hero's journey. And this book is called Hero with a Purpose. something like that. And it's basically talking about writing your own life story, that you're like the agent of your life, that oftentimes we fall into victimhood because we think fate, circumstances are controlling us.
Well, sure.
Whereas, what he's advocating for is like, no, you control the show. I mean, things happen to you, but you control what you do with it, and et cetera, et cetera. Not really new ideas, but he's so captivating in how he talks about it, and is so intent on saying you always got to be planning the next step. You always have to have some sort of action. So in your life, whatever it is, you have to have wants. And, it's interesting because the other day somebody asked me what I wanted, and I was like, and it was just like, what do you want in general? Like, what do you want?
Like not at the drive-thru?
Yeah, not at the drive-thru.
Okay.
Do you want... No, because even the drive-thru, they're like, do you want fries? Is that cool?
Right.
Does that sound good to you?
Right.
But what do you want in general? And I didn't really have an answer, which was shocking to me. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You?
I know.
You?
Didn't have an answer.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
So what do you want, Scott? That's the question. That's what's interesting.
Do I want?
Yeah. See?
Right now? Yeah.
Well, it could be
a donut.
Right, it could be right now. That's good. A donut.
Right.
It could be
The bigger picture.
It could be a bigger picture
Yes.
item.
Right. Okay. Interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah.
So, but to ask ourselves that question, I guess, from time to time.
From time to time, you should be asking yourself, "What
Okay.
do I want?"
Yeah, got it. All right. But what about? Let me pick up on that, because I just wanted to ask you a bit about. We do see people who just life has really kind of dealt them a bad hand, if you will, or they just feel like they're just getting pummeled and just setback after setback. It's probably hard for them to maybe think about them still being able to write their story or be the hero in their own story after some of these
Correct.
things that happen to
Yes.
them, right?
Sure. Very hard. Very hard, but not impossible. So,
Okay. And I guess that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. So suffering, it's about meaning making. So we make meaning out of suffering. It doesn't change the suffering. It doesn't mean that we wouldn't want it. You see these horrible things. Mothers Against Drunk Driving is a great example.
Right.
Horrible event. Never, ever, ever would anything replace how terrible that is. But this woman took that and created a campaign against drunk driving out of it. So she created a type of meaning, as an example. So it's about the meaning that you make.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Turning lemons into lemonade, if you will.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, old concept.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
Did they leave
They
us?
went away.
They were like, you guys keep talking.
We had a call. Maybe
I'm
they
outta
thought our conversation was so interesting that they decided to hang up and listen.
I got to hang up and listen to
That's
this.
right. But the phones are open if you'd like to call and share what's interesting in your world. You can do that at 566-3909. The number 566-3909, area code 505. You can call in. We'll put you on the radio, and you can share what's interesting in your world with Megan and myself as we continue to talk about the book that you're reading. So,
right.
The book, one out of many.
Well, I'm also reading a book called Sacred Medicine, which is about all these sort of alternative medicine options. And it's a medical doctor who's spent 2 years just going around researching this, because she's, obviously thoroughly westernized, conventional medicine woman, and was just like, well, what is the deal with shamans? What is the deal with energy healing? What's the deal with all that? So that's a really fascinating book, too. And she's finding a lot of interesting stuff. She would say, go with conventional medicine, but, why not adjunct it with this other stuff?
Right.
And see what happens.
Right. Okay. So. Very good. All right. We're going to go to the phones before they hang up, because we don't want to lose a caller.
No.
Right. So, good morning. You're on KSJE. Thank you for calling in this morning.
Hi, Scott. Hi, Megan. How are you guys?
We are good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Something I found interesting recently. One of my all-time favorite birds is the vulture. Kind of creepy,
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, something I found out about them. Do you know how they cool off when they're hot in the desert?
No.
How a vulture cools off. I don't think I know that either.
Well, I didn't know till recently. They defecate down their own legs.
There you go.
That is interesting.
Isn't that interesting? I think I've heard that about flamingos too. Could that be true? Are they part of the same family?
I don't know, but I only found this out because this happened to me recently, where I had an accident, and I was in. It was very hot out, and I guess I did my best vulture impression, and I had the runs, and I couldn't make it to the bathroom in time, and now I understand why vultures do this.
Well, okay, that is interesting.
That is.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for sharing that with us this morning. The Wild Kingdom.
The Wild Kingdom. That's
right?
Exactly right. Who knew that what vultures could do could be applicable to what humans could do?
Well,
by accident, but still.
Didn't know. Right. Interesting. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for calling in this morning. And we could go to the phones at 566-3909, 505-566-390.9. And there are a lot of things animals do that are probably a little strange.
Yeah, I'm trying
us,
to think.
Right?
About weird animals. Seahorses can get pregnant. Male seahorses can get pregnant.
That's true,
That's
right?
an interesting thing.
Learned that. That is interesting, right? The whole bats sleep upside down kind of thing. I don't know why that comes to my mind, but
I have a friend that's
they're just
way
kind of
into
freaky
bats.
animals. Bats are.
Apparently, they're very, very good for the environment. I don't know.
They eat a lot of bugs.
Much.
When they fly around, right? They just eat a lot of bugs, and there's that. My childhood cat. I don't know how old I was. Maybe 10. I don't know. Caught a bat.
Really?
And then proceeded to parade it around the house.
Did everybody get rabies?
Well, no, because it didn't kill the bat. Just caught it, and then the thing's flapping in its mouth.
Oh.
And then it got away, and then kind of flew a little drunkenly to get away from the cat.
Well, I'm glad it got away.
The cat caught a bat.
I
was proud of my cat. I'm like,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
The cat caught a bat.
Sure. Yeah, there you go.
Do you remember when I found the bat in the sanctuary?
I do remember that, and that photo went viral, I think.
It did go viral.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. It's just, and then I found
there were a lot of belfry jokes. I recall that.
A lot of bats in the belfry.
Yes, exactly.
It was, and it was like right at the early stages of COVID. So everybody was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because remember when the prevailing theory in the beginning was the bat theory.
That's right.
That it came from bats.
That's right. That's true.
Yes.
Lots
of theories about what was the other one? Pangolin.
Yes.
That disgusting creature that
at
apparently
the
some people
wet
eat
market.
at the wet market.
Yes.
Stay away from the wet markets.
Well, and then last week you were shocked to hear about monkeypox. Have you done more research on monkeypox since then?
Other than the article you sent, no.
Okay.
Little. I feel like there's too much in the world. The monkeypox
Yeah.
It's just one more thing.
It's one. Yeah, exactly. So, but I think there's a. I mean, I'm sure we would be horrified and amazed at the number of diseases that are in the animal world, right, that could jump to humans.
Yes. What do they call it? Zoonotics? Something like that.
Right.
I know Dr. Greenberg told us, but I can't remember what it's. But yes.
That's right.
There's a theory back in 2010. I read a whole book on it, forgetting what it was called, but it was basically saying that the next pandemic would be an animal to human jump, and then it might have been. We don't know. I don't think we have the full COVID backstory yet. I don't think they've fully discovered.
Right. No, still stuff coming in. So I'm getting texts from people asking when to call. Anytime. You can call anytime, people, because we're on the air right now. This is the time to call. And so, but yeah, 505-566-3909 is the number to call to join us on That's Interesting. It is our every other week, every other Friday, I guess that's bi-weekly program that Megan and I do here to kind of just talk about what's interesting in current events, right? What's going on? Events coming up. Riverfest this weekend.
So I might make an appearance on Sunday. I don't know.
At Riverfest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
the river?
Saturday, but Sunday. In the river. I'm actually going to be that person.
Float down.
I'm going to paint my face and.
Are you?
In Farmington colors. Do we have colors? I don't think we have colors. I don't think towns have colors.
I don't think towns have colors. No, but you
could be like Zia flag.
You could do green and white for Farmington High School, and then the blue and silver for Piedra Vista, and come down the river like that.
That would be good. I think everybody would appreciate that.
Sure they would.
Sure they would.
Of course they would. But that would be good. But Riverfest is back, which is another thing that hasn't happened for a couple of years. So we're excited that is back. Have you been to Riverfest? I'm trying to remember.
You know what? I haven't, and I've lived here. July makes I don't even know. 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I hope you'll go because it's a fun time.
4 years, anyway.
How about that?
I'm having a moment.
Are you? Yes.
Yeah, which is just time. It's just.
Yeah. Well, 2 of those years really don't count. Those are COVID years, right? So.
Well, that's part of the problem in the narrative.
Right. But it's a great. I mean, it's one of those. I think they call it a signature event. That really is something that the whole community I think gets behind, and it's nice to see those trails filled with people along the river, and the bands and the music and the food and all the other things that are going on. It really fills up those spaces in those parks and the plazas and things that are there, to see them filled with arts and crafts and all the other stuff that goes on. There's the art show and the arts and crafts and the food. I mentioned food numerous times, didn't I?
Food numerous times. Do they have funnel cakes?
I would hope
they would. I feel
like
that's a funnel cake event.
I think they'd probably, if they don't, they'd probably try to get funnel cakes. I know they probably try to. So, but yeah. And KSJE is a major sponsor this year
saw that.
of Riverfest, as is the Basin Health Companies.
So really, I'm a major sponsor.
So we both are, I guess, right? Sitting here. But congrats.
Now we have to go
and thanks to the Basin Health Companies and to KSJ and all the other sponsors that are there as well. Of course, couldn't do without them.
Right.
For sure. But that's another great event that's happening. And I guess it kicks off tonight. And then, of course, it's all day tomorrow and Sunday at Berg Park. So check it out, everybody.
Check it out.
There you go. I know there's a show. I did a show with some of the committee members, so you can search on YouTube or Facebook and get all the details. But I know there are shuttles running from the museum to the park and back. If you don't want to deal with the parking over there, they've got, I think, some more golf carts and things to get people in the park. Because, when you get into one end of Berg Park, and it's so long, it's like 6 miles, right? Or 3 miles from one end to the other. And so, if you're not used to walking that much, it can be a little bit of a struggle to walk that way. So for the elderly or what have you. So I know they have other things planned to help people get around in the park. So that's good.
That's great.
But yeah, so there you go.
Look at our town.
Right?
Cute little things like Riverfest.
Exactly.
We had the Christmas parade. We are really... See, I say small town America. People who have been in Farmington for their whole life are beg to differ that it's not really a small town. But you've been around. Where do you land on the?
Thanks.
You've been around.
Been around. You're old. What do you think, old man?
Yeah. What do you think?
What was it like when you were young,
old man?
Well, before parades were invented. I think it's great. I think it's, we have a lot of great things that make this community so special. I think a lot of folks would agree with that. I think we have some big city stuff and some small town stuff, and we haven't really lost any of that. And that's what I find so great about Farmington and the surrounding areas as well. I mean, Aztec has some great parades and other community events. We shouldn't forget about that. And Bloomfield too. And I think Kirtland is coming now that it's kind of morphing more into its own entity, and Shiprock, of course, and the Navajo Nation. But I like the parades that we do, and I think a lot of the other community events like Riverfest, Connie Mack, huge community event. Couldn't be done without the community, with all of the host families and things like that make that event so successful. And so it's a great thing. But let's go to the phones.
Cool.
Another caller on the phones to call in on KSJE, our That's Interesting program. Good morning. You're on KSJE. Thanks for calling in.
Hi, Scott. This is Roman. Hi, Megan. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Hi, Roman.
I've been awaiting your call, Roman.
He was waiting for me to text him the number. It's okay.
I'm still digesting the donut from the 0 Mile Fun Run, so
are you now?
I had to work that off all week, so it was a pleasure to be there last week.
Thank you for coming and supporting the station and the fun run. So we appreciate that.
Of course, and I'm calling this morning just as a heads up for a couple of weeks when the primaries are happening in June. And
that's right.
To remind everybody how important it is to get out there and make sure that you are expressing your vote, expressing who you want to represent you. And as the most important thing is, it doesn't matter what political party you belong to. The most important thing is that you get out there and exercise your vote and be heard.
Very true. That's June 7th, right? Tuesday, June 7th is primary day?
That's correct. And you can still vote absentee. You can still vote through early voting, and you can show up on election day. So get out there and vote, and get out there and express yourself.
Very good. That's good. That's good advice. A good reminder. I know, of course, in New Mexico, you have to be a member of the political party to vote in that party's primary in June, right?
That is correct.
Yes. And in some of these races, I know sometimes the races are decided at the primary because they may not have an opponent in November.
That happens quite a lot. So sometimes people are confused and they show up and only one person on the ballot on the election day in November. They don't understand why. It's because they were unopposed or they won their election in the primary. So that happens quite frequently.
Right. But this is the time to make your voice heard, as you mentioned, and help make that decision for your party. So good reminder. Thank you for doing that and reminding us, Roman.
That is it. Just wanted to tell you guys that was all. Hope you guys have a great weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully I'll be calling in next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Excellent.
We hope you will.
Frequent caller.
Because you're an interesting guy.
All right. I'd like to hear that.
Okay. There you go.
All right,
Take care. Thanks. All righty.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. Don't forget to vote.
I know. Actually,
Right?
that's a great reminder.
It is.
You're a news guy, so you probably don't do this. But
Right.
sometimes,
What
well,
don't I do?
Don't put the pause. Sometimes I put the pause on the news because it's too much.
Oh.
And so then I go and I read my books and I listen
Yeah.
to my podcasts.
Sure.
But I kind of
Well,
shut
yeah.
it down a bit because it gets a little
Right.
loud. So I was kind of forgetting that we're in voting season again.
We are. That's true.
Gubernatorial.
Yes, exactly. That's right. In New Mexico. A lot of
know.
statewide races happening. A lot of local races that are happening. Not quite as many, I think, in the primary at the moment, but there are a few. And we are. I am amiss is that we usually talk to some of the candidates, and we haven't had time to do that this time around, and that's a failing on our scheduling. So
Yeah.
need to work on that. But let's go back to the phones. Another
All right.
call. Good morning. Good morning. You're on KSJE. Thank you for calling in this morning.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
This is Rick with Desert View Family Counseling. How are you?
Hi, Rick. I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for calling in and appreciate you taking the time. You've got an event coming up, I know, that you wanted to share with us, right?
Yes, sir, we do. We are having our 6th annual Strides Against Suicide 5K walk and run. And every year we do this at Berg Park, and we're going to do this again, and it's for the whole family. And our event every year is to raise awareness for mental health and suicide. And we have a great turnout every year, and we just want to make the community aware of it and invite the community and families and get everybody out there and do the walk and raise some awareness.
Very good. And again, that's coming up on the 11th, right?
June 11th, yep.
Okay.
Berg Park down at the pavilion. Registration starts at 7. The walk will actually start at 8.
Got it.
And there'll be several other things going on. There'll be a DJ and silent auction. We're going to have a butterfly release, and there'll be some vendors down there and some resource providers and some food trucks. So just different activities going on. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Very good. And folks can register now, or they can register that morning. What's the best way to do it, Rick?
Both. They can
Okay.
go to our Facebook page. They can go to active.com and type in Strides Against Suicide. They can register that morning. Also, if people do not want to be actual timed, they can just show up and sign a different kind of waiver, and they can just walk to support. Because we do want people just to show up and be able to show their support.
Nice. Okay. Very
Yeah.
good.
And then on June 10th, the night before, we also hold our candlelight vigil, just kind of an intimate time for families who have lost a loved one or someone who's been a survivor of suicide, just to come and just join the crowd and maybe share some memories of their loved one or share how they've kind of overcome or learned to deal with their mental health. And it's just an intimate time, like I said, just to kind of share and share strengths and share stories. It's probably one of my favorite times that we do. But that's free, and that's the pavilion, and that's Friday night about 7:30.
Okay. They're at Berg Park Pavilion again, same kind of location, right?
Yeah.
The night before.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And I can't help but notice the sponsor on this on both of these events. Again, we have to talk about the Basin Health Companies.
Yes, they do amazing stuff here in the community, and they deal with a lot of, end-of-life stuff. And Vince Moffitt and his his team are just wonderful people. And so we've partnered with them this year. We've partnered with a lot of different sponsors this year, but Vince and I are actually just doing a partnership this year for this, which is great. So.
Wonderful. Well, terrific. Well, good luck with the event, Rick Gavetto, and thank you for calling in this morning.
All right. Thanks, Scott. All right. You guys take care.
You bet.
too.
Bye-bye.
You too. Some great events coming up. See, and that's what the show's all about. That's interesting. To talk
Yes.
a little bit about elections and the strides against suicide and all these other events that are coming up. So
Wide swath.
that's right. Exactly.
Keep it broad.
Like we said, whatever's interesting in your world could be interesting to us.
It's why the show is so fun.
That's right. And wide-ranging.
Levity, seriousness,
Correct.
awareness.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know what you'll find. And that's why we leave the phones open. Pooping down your leg, apparently, is another thing that we've talked about this week. There is that.
That took the cake, I think.
I think so. I think so. But you just never know. So we appreciate everybody that's
You
called
never
in.
know.
Yeah.
And that is what a call-in show is all about.
That's true.
Do you ever...
We don't screen the calls. So,
No, we don't.
You call in, you're
We
on the
don't
air.
have that. You call in,
It's a low budget show.
It's
That's
what you get. Straight to the airwaves.
That's true. That's true.
Did you ever...
You still have to turn your radio down.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But other than that, we're good. Did I ever what?
Listen to, in your past or in your present, Howard Stern?
Oh, I'm sure I've listened to it a little bit. I don't know if I've ever listened to an entire program of his. I'm sure I've heard clips before.
His interviews are very good.
Yeah.
His other stuff, a little too raunchy for me.
Right.
But
Right.
he actually knows how to interview somebody.
Well, that's true. He's done it for a long time.
He's done it for a long time.
Sure. And a lot of people, want to go on his show to have him be interviewed by him.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
but yeah.
But he's got some wild callers, as you might imagine. Then I think
Oh,
he just
well.
makes up wild
Oh, yeah.
callers, and like they're in character when they call in. So
True. That could be.
yeah, I don't think he screens. I think he probably does screen, but he doesn't care. He's like, the weirder the better.
Well, now that he's on satellite, I don't think
He doesn't have to.
Right. Exactly. We still need everyone to be somewhat polite on our calls.
On our calls,
Yes.
yes. Please do.
Yeah, that would be good.
Family friendly, guys.
Exactly.
Family friendly.
Exactly. But we do have time for a couple more. If you'd like to call us up on That's Interesting, the number is 505-566-3909. That's 566-390.9. You can join us here on the radio. You can just call and say hello. That'd be nice. Nice to hear from you.
What lonely.
Right. Exactly. But that would be good. Or ask
I have
about Megan's latest book.
I was going to say, I have another, if you want, we can just keep going down this rabbit trail.
Yes.
So there is she's a clinical psychologist, but she's also really into like Buddhist practices and stuff. So,
all right.
And you might have heard of mindfulness. It's really popular in popular culture, really. It's become kind of a thing that people talk about.
Right.
And so Tara Brach is her name. And, geez,
Uh-oh.
gosh, I know, morning stuff. But
Yeah.
she has a podcast, and she has this whole process of meditating and sort of dealing with things as they come up. So the process is called RAIN. Okay, let's see if I can remember. Recognize, acknowledge, investigate, and nurture. So if something's happening that we recognize it, we just say, okay, that's here. So say it's an uncomfortable feeling or like anger or something.
Right.
Then we kind of investigate, well, what's going on with that? And then nurturing's more like, what do we do with that? Or let's not be too judgmental on ourselves about that thing. And so it's this really, if we talk about meditating, sometimes we think like, gosh, it's so like vague, and like I'm just supposed to sit in quiet, like, and somehow still my mind. And so I prefer the meditative stuff that has these kind of steps, like this is what you can do during this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really, and she did one on self-forgiveness using that method, which was really cool, because if you think about it, when you mess up, how good are you at like forgiving yourself when you mess up, or do you just kind of berate yourself?
Right.
I
get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
I don't know. Do you feel like you mess up a lot?
Do I?
Yeah.
Have you met me?
Exactly.
All the time.
That's the key. You gotta
All the
know
time.
that you mess up.
But
a
I
lot.
think I think owning it is still important, right? Mm-hmm. But I think then forgiving, I guess, is also important, right? You can still own the mess up, but you can still kind of forgive yourself too, right? For that as well,
you gotta
and learn
own
from
it. Yeah, you have to own it for sure, or else you really can't forgive something you're not owning. Anyway.
I think that's a good point.
So
yeah,
make amends where it's necessary and stuff like that. But so RAIN, recognize, acknowledge, investigate, nurture.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very good. Another tidbit. I'm so glad you read more than I do, because we had nothing to talk about if it was just me. Because Lord knows I come to this show Unprepared.
And it's really all about the podcast too, right? So if you're like,
Right.
you have a bike that you like to ride sometimes, put it in while you're riding.
Yeah.
That'll give you, not too loud though, because you got to hear the.
Well, yeah. Well, I have my little helmet
Surroundings.
with the speakers, so I can.
Do you really have a helmet with speakers?
Of course I do. Yeah, I do. Well,
About mouth.
right, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm
You
just
okay
like,
over there?
I didn't know, I didn't even know that this was a thing.
It's a Bluetooth thing, right? And it
Oh
connects
my
to your
God.
phone, and then you can just listen to your
This
thing.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And I have turn signals, too, on the helmet, by the way.
You do not.
Yeah.
This is perfect. So you could easily listen to a podcast.
I could very easily listen to the podcast,
Well,
and
there
I have
you
little
go.
buttons on my handlebars, and
Perfect.
I can indicate if I'm turning left or right. I have to do the hand signal thing.
You don't even have to move your hands.
I don't.
Good. That's good. You need
Right.
to plant it
I
where
know.
they're at.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do. Both hands on the
Yeah.
wheel. Exactly.
Both hands on the wheel.
But yeah. But no, as I've been getting out riding more, I just thought that would be a safety, a good safety thing, since I'm sharing the road with motorists. And,
Yes.
I'm not
I
an
agree.
off-road biker as much as
No.
maybe you are.
Yeah, sometimes.
And you're a hiker.
I
You're
love
really
hiking.
a hiker.
I love hiking.
Yeah.
I have a mountain bike, but really the two friends I ride bikes with are far superior at all that. So,
Right.
you know,
They
I
leave you
go
in the
on
dust,
well, they don't
kinda
leave me
literally?
because they're nice.
Oh,
so
that's nice of them.
Yeah, but that's the only time I really ride. So
Gotcha.
but it's
And,
fun.
and all of you are probably far superior than I am, which is why you haven't called me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, because you just be like, no, I'm gonna stick with my Bluetooth helmet.
I'm going to be
over here.
in the
Thank you.
neighborhood riding around the block 5
Yes.
times.
Hey, whatever. It is all about.
Yes.
And this is true. When it comes to exercise, find what you at least kind of enjoy.
I agree.
And then just do
I
that.
agree, because I really don't
Because it's the only way
find
to
much
keep
that
up
I
with-
enjoy
yeah.
when it comes to exercise,
Yeah.
as if you've met me.
Yeah.
So
you just got to
this
stick
is a
with
good
what
thing.
works.
That's right.
And then you'll do it consistently. It's better than trying to
Hopefully.
do something you hate.
Right.
That's going to work for like a day.
Whatever gets you out of the house, or
Agreed.
gets the heart rate up, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
So I agree. That's good.
Do
Yeah.
you.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Very,
I gotta
very
learn to do this
nurturing.
helmet.
Very nurturing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm practicing.
Okay, see?
Right now.
There you are. I know. I got that. So perfect. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show.
Yes.
Well, as we talk about our exercising habits, which is fine.
You can call in next.
You could share it. 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Your
we'll be back.
exercise
That's
routines.
very true. That's going to be on the the 10th of June already, in 2 weeks. How about that?
Wow.
I know, amazing, right? But we'll be back with another That's Interesting
June's
program.
my favorite month.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All the weddings.
Well, and it's just I love it. Gets bright at 6 and it doesn't get dark till 8.
That's true.
I am in love.
Right.
I love that.
Very true.
Love it.
Very true. Oh, before we go, one more little plug here, because we're here at the college. I just wanted to remind folks that Sarah Morgan is going to be here tonight at the Connie Gotch Theater. Again, one of the first events that we've had here at the college coming out of COVID. So we really want to support the arts and support San Juan College. So they're bringing in Sarah Morgan, great singer-songwriter. Did an interview with her. You can see that on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. But she's here at the Connie Gotch Theater later on tonight at 7 o'clock. So just wanted to remind folks about that.
Very fun.
Yeah, so there you go. But that will bring us to the close of That's Interesting. We will be back again next week with Solutions from the Street. Another solution.
Another solution.
Same street.
Yes.
Okay.
Our street needs a lot of help.
It does.
So we got
and there are
some
a lot of
helpers.
solutions
There's
out there.
a lot of helpers.
Okay. Can we give a hint?
Yes. Do you want to?
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was going to say mom. And leave it at that.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll leave it at that.
How about that?
They're never going to get it.
That's
but
the
yes.
hint for next week, everyone.
Okay.
Solutions from the Street next Friday, 8 o'clock. But until then, we're going to go, and we're going to have a great week. But you too. We'll see you maybe at Riverfest this weekend, everyone. Be safe, and have a good Memorial Day weekend. And remember the reason for the holiday. And we will see you next Friday, everybody. Bye-bye. KSJE is proud to support Riverfest, Memorial Day weekend, May 27th, 28th, and 29th on the banks of the Animas River in Farmington. Handcrafted creations by local artisans and vendors. The plein air painters will be working to capture the beauty of the Animas River. Riverfest, a jolt-worthy event, proudly hosted by the River Reach Foundation, sponsored in part by the City of Farmington and the Farmington Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out more at riverfestnewmexico.com.
KSJE is proud to support Riverfest, Memorial Day weekend, May 27th, 28th, and 29th on the banks of the Animas River in Farmington. Food vendors and favorite brews served up at beer and wine